So I grew up in the Central District. I was once one of those youth, that was a product of my environment. And I got introduced to the streets at a young age. And, I kicked up a lot of dirt in the streets, but always had in the back of my head, like, this is not where I wanted to be. It took about 5 years after I actually really turned my life around before I had the opportunity to work with Urban Family and work with the youth in our community. But when that opportunity came, I jumped on it.
We focus on family support, youth programs, and neighborhood safety. 80% of our team used to be participants in one of our programs at some time or another.
It is our goal to create neighborhoods that are safe, connected, and cared for.
We have teams that walk the streets. We're at the schools. So we do safe passage, community violence intervention.
We're able to partner with the Seattle Seahawks organization to give away 3,000 lock boxes.
We have a Peace Camp coming up. Peace Camp's a heavy lift. We're basically taking some of our communities and cities' highest risk youth that were either victims or perpetrators of gun violence and take them off the grid for a week.
We do cognitive behavior therapy so that the kids are learning to process their anger, learning to process their emotions so that they make better decisions. And then also, we remind the kids that they're just kids, that it's time to be a kid and have fun. So there's a lot of fun activities for them as well.
The real work is happening outside the camp. Camp is just a tool to help that long-term relational work.
It's not a magic wand, but it's definitely a strategy in the holistic transformation of our young people.
Which follows up with some job opportunities and some internships.
It's all part of the 100 Days of Peace, paired with the county's 100 Days of Action.
This is not a job. When you do this type of work, it's more of a lifestyle. When you're working with these youth, you're going to get those 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock a.m. calls like, hey, man, I need you. And, you got to go. But when you finally see that breakthrough and that kid comes to you like, oh, my God, you did so much for me. You changed my life. You changed the trajectory of how my life was going. That's what keeps me going. I'm like, okay, on to the next one. Let's do this for someone else.
What I'm most proud of is the fact that we have so many of the kids that have been in our program that are doing so well, that are now parents, that are now becoming doctors. They're teachers now on their way to being principals. Like to be in the work as long as I have and to see that outcome, knowing where they started, gives me the fuel I need to do this every day.
For the people who don't know about this work, like they should really look at it as a staple in the community. Law enforcement, counselors, this work is just as important as any of those other titles. And it's really making a difference.